Ayo, yo, hey, it's the best of vibes. It's the best of vibes.
G'day guys, welcome back to the Best of Vibes podcast. This time it's episode number 13 and we're joined by Port NGA and 2020 AFL draft prospect, Lachie Jones. How are you, Lachie?
Good, thanks, mate. Thanks for having me.
No worries, good to have you on. First question we always like to start with, juniors, what it was like growing up, stuff like that.
Yeah, so I played junior footy at Butte on York Peninsula ever since I was a kid, right from Oz kick until started playing a bit of Woodville in 15s, I think it was. And then, yeah, we obviously played a bit of association footy throughout the years. And then, yeah, obviously the last 3 years have been just Woodville pretty much. So, yeah, it was always pretty good competition at home. And, yeah, I guess that's what got me to where I am now.
Yeah. What's it like juggling Woodville and the Port NGA Academy?
This year's been pretty easy. We've done nothing with the academy anyway. So, I guess previously it's been all right. Before this year, I didn't live in Adelaide anyway. So, did very little. It was too far to drive every week. And then, obviously this year haven't done a whole lot just because COVID. So, haven't really had to juggle too much there.
Yeah. Now, you played in that grand final that Woodville won. What was that like winning that? And obviously all the boys got around you, like Caleb and Zach and all them.
Yeah, no, it was unreal. Definitely one of my greatest achievements so far in my career. So, I had to pinch myself after the game and sort of let it sink in what just happened. And yeah, obviously the boys are all pretty close. So, they were there watching. Had a few frothies with them straight after the game. So, that was good.
Yeah. What was it like? It's probably a while ago now, but debuting for that senior side.
It's pretty scary. We debuted at Adelaide Oval, so that made it a little bit more interesting. Had played it before, but yeah, it's always a little bit nerve-wracking when you make your debut on a big stage. So, but it was pretty slow, to be honest. First couple of games were a bit average, probably granted though. So, yeah, I guess it took me a few games to warm up, and after probably 3-4 rounds, and found my feet and sort of cemented my spot in the team. So, I was fortunate enough to play all season. So, very, very grateful for getting the opportunity.
Yeah. Now, you said you played your debut on Adelaide Oval, and obviously you played the grand final and the prelim and stuff like that. What's it like playing on a ground like Adelaide Oval?
Yeah, it's good. Definitely one of the best grounds. Well, apart from MCG, second best ground I've ever played at. So, I haven't been to all AFL grounds, but I imagine Adelaide's pretty well kept compared to some other ovals around the country. But it's good. The environment, just being in a place where there's a bit of grandstand and stuff like that, a few people. It's a good atmosphere.
Yeah. Now, you've been in the Port Academy for a while now, I believe. But what's it been like being in that academy and sort of getting to know the senior players sort of thing?
It's been pretty good. Did a little bit of pre-season there this year, so got to meet a few of the boys, and it was a little bit more just an academy player. It was more, this could be potentially, a future club. So, yeah, boys got around me, which was nice, and still talk to a few of them, see them occasionally for a beer or two. So, it was good. Great people there, great players, and obviously, reasonable season this year. So it shows a bit of what's going on at the club.
Yeah. So your name has been constantly rising up the draft boards. What's it been like to hear that? If you've been paying much attention to it.
I guess you can't shy away from it, especially when you got your mate sending it to you every week or so. So it's don't think about it too much, to be honest. It doesn't really faze me. Obviously it was a little bit, I don't know, surreal. Probably not so much start of the season, but halfway through when it was, getting talked about more regularly. But yeah, I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to the media, so just take it as it comes. Unlike Caleb loves it.
I'll tell you one thing. I don't know. I don't think you have this paper over there, but the Herald Sun. Today they put out their top 30 draft prospects, and you were number 8.
Yeah,
so I'll just give you that little bit of information.
I haven't seen that one, so
Yeah.
yeah, they all say the same shit anyway, so
Yeah, pretty much.
don't bother reading it. But no, you don't even have to ask Caleb. He'll tell you. Yeah, quite openly told us he was on Channel 7 the other night and a couple of radio shows. So yeah, a bit of a difference between us two.
Yeah, I found that like when he responded, it was quite hard to figure out at the same time. But with you, it was just sort of, we're free here, and you're the same.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, I was probably a bit of a shit bloke for not getting back to you a bit earlier, but yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I mean, like Taj was the same, so it all goes the same way with you boys. I asked this to Taj, but like obviously he's a father-son for Port, and he's been training with you a bit when you've been training with Port. What would it be like if like you've got a bit more certainty with Port picking you up, but what would it be like if he got picked up by Port and you had someone already there that you knew, like the same age and similar level to you?
Yeah, that'd be good. Taj and I have gotten close over the last year. Wasn't didn't play. No, I can't remember if he played last year or not. I think yeah, he did. Yeah, couple of years together, which has been good and yeah, real close. So I guess that's a good starting point for next year. And yeah, at least I know there'll be someone there that's going through the same thing I am. And when we're doing our running and stuff, I can look over and have a look at see how he's going, who's doing what, and just compare ourselves, make sure neither of us are getting beaten by each other.
Who do you reckon would win in a 2K time trial? You or him?
I'm getting better. One's getting better. So I don't know how much running Taj has been doing, but I don't know. I feel pretty confident on say me. So we might have to tee that up and let that one happen. But no, I'm sure I'm sure you'll find out who wins that one. I'll get on Taj I'll get on to Taj about it.
Yeah. Now, like your off season and like Corona break, well, for you it wasn't as bad as it was here, but when everything shut down, what did you sort of look to do to fill your time?
Yeah, it was pretty tough the first few weeks for me. Like obviously draft year, and it's probably not the first thing you want to hear coming into the season. But I just did pretty much what everyone else did. So just kept on training up, did all my running and stuff like that, and then yeah, I guess I played a little bit of golf in that time and hang out with mates and yeah, a bit of skateboarding and shit like that. So did something to keep me company, and I was still working, so that kept me moving during the day, which was good. But yeah, other than that, it didn't do a whole lot, to be honest.
Yeah, and in like just a regular off season, like end of year or end
now. Well, I guess like the off season we're in pretty much now. Just been working. That's pretty much it. Few beers on the weekends and stuff like that, but that's not off season stuff. That's year round. So off season's pretty much the same, low key. Don't really do a whole lot. Now start doing a little bit of own running and stuff. So just cruise at home.
Yeah. I'll ask you this. Zach asked Eddie Ford on our last episode, but what is the scariest thing leading into the draft for you, or what are you most worried about?
I don't really know. Not really scared of anything. I guess I think there's only I guess fear of not getting drafted, but I guess there's probably a greater chance to get drafted than there is to not. So look at that as a positive. I guess other than that, I mean, it's not something I'm scared of, but something that I don't want to happen is not to end up at Port. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna crack it though if I don't end up at Port. But yeah, that's probably number one.
Yep. All right, I'll get off footy a bit because you're probably sick of talking about it. But did you play any other sports when you were young, or do you now?
Yeah, used to play basketball. Yeah, from like a young kid until 2 years ago when footy became a bit more serious. And yeah, it wasn't too bad. Always played local basketball and a little bit of like country league basketball.
Yep.
Other than that, I didn't play any other sports, no cricket or tennis or anything like that. I wish I did play a bit of tennis. But yeah, just footy and basketball.
Yeah. Do you support any basketball club, or is it just sort of just watch it and just?
Oh, I'm not even a massive fan of basketball, to be honest. I'll watch NBA a little bit, but I'm more interested in just seeing the 3-pointers and the dunks and stuff. I don't really care who wins, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. Do you have any pets?
Yeah, got a few. So we got 2 dogs at the minute, a couple of goats, a few, just the usual farm stuff: chicken, ducks, sheep. Not really pets, but we keep them pretty close to the house, so you can call them pets. That's pretty much it. So yeah, I got a few lying around the farm. Did have 3 dogs, but one died the other day, so that's pretty sad.
Yeah. What's your go-to pub feed? We'll move on to that.
Chicken palmy. Has to be chicken palmy or Palmer, however you use Victorians say it.
Say it either. I don't really care. I don't eat it. Don't like it.
Don't like it?
Nah, hate it.
Oh gosh.
I've said it to everyone. I think I'll be the first person that you'll meet and probably the last that just hates palmy.
Yeah, right. Any reason behind that, or just not a fan of the combination?
I think it's like I've said to a lot of people. It's probably the pubs around here that sort of ruined it for me. They just slap a little bit of meat on it and then douse it in cheese, sort of thing. Just cover it. And too much cheese,
You'll have to come to SA and try them. Pretty good over here. We got a few pubs that we go to that well known for a good palmy. So one time when you're over, we'll take you for a tour.
Yeah, and if you're down here, we'll take you to get a steak or a burger or something like that because we've got good burgers down here.
That's good. I'm not a fuss eater, but yeah, palmy go to. But I'll eat anything, to be honest.
Yeah. What's your most embarrassing story that you can tell us?
Football related or non-football related?
Be either. Can be whatever you want.
Shit. I've done some pretty dumb stuff, but
I can cut this out in the edit. It's all right.
You're good. I won't say anything too explicit, but I don't know. Embarrassing. Probably rocking up to a footy game like all dressed up, and it was just like it was not necessary. Just rocked up in my slacks and my shirt and stuff, and everyone else there was wearing shorts and their polo shirt. Yeah. That was pretty average. Apart from that, I don't really know. A few embarrassing. I'm sure I've done heaps, but I just can't remember off the top of my head. Not always, but occasionally leave me footy boots at home, and I don't know until probably 45 minutes before the game starts when I put my boots on. Yeah, that's never a great feeling. But other than that, I can't really think of any, to be honest. If I remember some, I'll sing out. Yeah.
We asked Zave Robbins this, and he said he wouldn't take you. But who would you take in a boxing match if you had to pick anyone?
Who would I take or wouldn't?
Who would you? He said he wouldn't take you.
There's a few boys that reckon. I'm not even a massive fighter, to be honest. I'm just sort of half big. I don't even like fighting, but I'd probably fight Zach, to be honest. He talks the talk, and when we're at home and stuff, he goes a little bit mental. and lashes out at us. But I wouldn't really say it's boxing. But if we go into a proper boxing ring, yeah, he's definitely one person that I would want to take.
Yep.
And as for I wouldn't take, I don't know. Taj looks pretty good with the gloves on. Showed us a few videos of him and his old man. Looks pretty neat and tidy. But no, there's probably, I don't know, no one here in SA probably wouldn't take. Riley Philthorpe maybe.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I'm not sure.
Yep. What's your funniest story? Again, it can be football related or not, whatever. Up to you.
Shit. Ooh.
I know I've probably put you on the spot here. I do it with everyone.
Funniest. I don't know. Actually, yeah. This wasn't me, but it was. I was at Zach and Caleb's house, and we were going to bed. I think we had a few drinks or something that night, and I was sleeping in Caleb's bed, and Zach comes in and tried to turn the light switch off with his dick, and the light switch is right next to the door frame, so he's just jumped to do it, and he's hit his head on the door frame. And that's possibly the funniest thing that I've ever seen in that house. To this day, it still makes me laugh. We were only talking about it the other day, and we just started laughing for no apparent reason. So definitely one of the funniest things that's happened in recent times.
Yeah. If you hear me dogs barking in the background too, don't mind them. They'll go.
You might hear some tools working outside too. So
yeah. I'll go back to footy because this is a question I like to get out of the way. Your pre-game routine.
I don't really have a routine, to be honest. Just rock up, put me socks and boots on, my shorts and my Guernsey, warm up and play. That's pretty much my routine. I'm not superstitious about anything. A few times throughout the season, I used to eat I always had a chicken roll before the game when we were playing at about 2:00. So that's something I did there for a few weeks at a while, and it was good while I was playing good. But this first game I played shit. That went out the window. So other than that, no real routine. I don't like getting dressed real early either. That's something that's not really a routine, but just a fun fact.
Yeah. What if you've got a pre-game pump-up song? What's that?
Don't mind another one, Bites the Dust. That's something always is top of the pre-game playlist.
Yeah.
Other than that, so it's sort of just like club music, bit of doof.
Yep. All right. I'll ask you a bit of an interesting question, but when I was looking at your highlights to make that video to sort of announce that you were coming on, there were countless amounts of highlights. Are you the type of person to look himself up and watch his own highlights?
No, I don't look myself up and watch my highlights. Although I did look myself up the other night because I was trying to find an article on me to show Dad. That's probably more very, very. I could count on one hand how many times I've had to search my own name, but it's not for my own benefit. So no, and you probably won't catch me watching my highlights. You'll see me watch game review, but no highlights.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Do you reckon Caleb's one to search his own name? Or?
Yeah. Especially now that he's been a bit of a bolter, I could guarantee that he's definitely searched up his name a few times. I know Zach does too. There's a footy forum that he keeps a close eye on, making see what they're saying about him and what rookie pick he's going to go and stuff like that. But no, Caleb definitely. I've seen it myself. So he's a bad one for that. Yeah.
So obviously, other than yourself, you're going to get drafted and sort of work your way up the rankings of the AFL. Who are you most looking forward to see get picked up and work their way through the AFL system, sort of thing?
Definitely, I'd be my mates. It'd be Zach and Caleb. Hopefully, Zach. Caleb definitely. I'm more excited for them than what I am for myself. Obviously, there's a little bit of certainty about my spot next year. But I guess, yeah, for Zach and Caleb, with no guarantee of a club taking them, yeah, I'm excited to see them and how they go. And hopefully, if Zach doesn't go either draft Wednesday or rookie draft Thursday, hopefully gets off to a good start next season and puts on a bit of weight and stuff like that, and can hopefully go mid-season next year. So, yeah, I got to stick with my boys there.
Yep. Who is your, like, I guess, who do you play like in the AFL? That's sort of what I'm trying to say.
I'll try and watch a bit of Heath Shaw and Darcy Byrne-Jones. Yeah, those two mainly. Halfback is rebounding type players. Darcy he's got a sick haircut. Last name Jones, plays for Port. So, those two are mainly. There's been a few people say a little bit like Shannon Hearn, but yeah, I don't think I've quite got the rankings to be compared to Shannon Hearn just yet.
Yeah, maybe in the future.
Maybe.
Who are you most looking forward to, like, lining up on? Like,
not really sure, to be honest. I haven't really thought about it, but no, I'd love to stand like a Eddie Betts or who else is there? Michael Walters. Some of the Indigenous small forwards. Yeah, I'd probably get my ass kicked, but just, yeah, I guess anyone next year would be good. But yeah, those in particular, just because they're, real crafty and, always top blokes and, share a bit of Indigenous background. So, yeah, I guess there's a bit of meaning there as well. But definitely not, hopefully never, Hawkins or Jeremy Cameron, someone big like that.
Yeah. If you could, like, name one player, past or present, to bring to either, like, Woodville or the Port Academy, who would it be and why?
Probably Tony Modra. Just an absolute freak.
Yeah.
Used to have the flowing locks as well. So, yeah, a bit of an iconic legend to bring back to Woodville, or bring him back to AFL, at least watch him play. And yeah, just an absolute gun.
Yeah. Obviously you've said, and you're known for the mullet, but is there any reason behind having it, or was it just sort of grow it out?
Well, it started last year when I was still in school, and it was at that stage it was the Dusty, and then it sort of transitioned to Cripper, and then from there I didn't really cut the length. I just sort of kept shaving the sides and just eventually grew out, and sort of got to a point now where a little bit protective of it, and I don't want to get it cut off or anything. But no, if people have asked me about me and Caleb and what we both do, but he actually copied me. I actually started it for us. So he's just lucky I cut my hair. I did trim the ends of it for a while there, for a couple of months. So that's probably kept me away from being as long as his. But yeah, if you ever want to talk to a bloke that loves his hair as much as he loves himself, Caleb's your man. So very protective of it.
We've had a chat to him. He was our first one off. So
yeah, we were waiting for a time where he was too pissed to see, and we were going to cut it off. But yeah, Caleb's a goody two shoes, and he doesn't really indulge in alcohol too much. So he's a good boy.
Yeah. Now Zach would probably ask you this question. He'd throw me under the bus and say I usually ask it, but now it's sort of his type of question. But are you dating anyone?
Nah, not at the minute. Yeah.
No time for it?
No, I did have one at the back end of the season, and then just sort of called it while everything was getting pretty serious. And yeah, I guess once we broke up, it was a bit of freedom and just could focus on my footy, and yeah, it still stands, I guess. So yeah, not looking to get back into a relationship anytime soon.
Yeah, that's all right. Do you have a go-to joke that you like to whip out, or is it just sort of on the fly, whatever happens?
No, I'm not a massive jokes man. I can't really come up with them on the top of my head, but there's a few jokes that I play every now and again that are pretty raw. Nah, not a massive jokes man. Use a few pickup lines every now and again, but yeah, there's a few jokes that I say that are pretty raw and probably a little bit too explicit, but nah, it's all in good stead, and yeah, normally doesn't go any further than the boys. So yeah.
If you had a movie or a book made about your life, what would you call it and why?
I don't know. Yeah, I honestly don't know. Probably something simple like The Life of Lachie or some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. If it was like an autobiography or something, yeah, Life of Lachie.
Yep. Yeah. I'll get into your Instagram questions. You only got 2. You didn't get many.
Oh right, yeah, massive. I didn't share that on my Instagram.
Nah, that's all right. You got the AFL draft, man. And he said, how good is it playing with James Rowe? And do you think he'll get drafted? And he's a big fan.
Yes. Yeah, James, top bloke, obviously gun player, like for a small forward to win leading or equal leading goal kicker for the season, is absolutely unreal. But he's like top player because you watch him train and he does everything he does in a game, he does that at training. You know, none of those goals that he kicks from the pockets and stuff like that, they're never pure luck. He yeah, like I say, practice what you preach, and he's done exactly that all season, and very crafty. But yeah, top bloke, and yeah, I reckon he'll get drafted. I think there's a bit of talk about him. Whether he get picked up like regular drafts or rookie, I'm not sure, but I think he'll definitely go somewhere.
Yeah. Now your second and your last one, Daniel Sorokovsky. I don't know if I'm getting that right.
Not sure.
Yeah, but he said, if you come to Port, which players would you get along with the most?
Probably a couple of younger blokes. Had a little bit to do with Butters and Durza and Rosie. Outside of like the footy club, seen them a few times for a few drinks, and Dill Williams as well. So, but yeah, most of the younger blokes, they're all pretty similar. So I think they'll be the ones to get along with. But I've told a few people that I want to get close with Leah next year. Yeah, I want him to be on my side. If walking down a dark alley.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would like him, or like you got plenty of them. You know, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Zach would be happy to hear that you get along well with Butters because he went to school with him. So
yeah, right. There you go. No.
Speaking of other people and like your mates, who do you reckon we should get in contact with to get on here?
We've probably already spoken to most of the blokes I deal with. Shit, I don't know. Who have you reached out to that hasn't gotten back to you?
Give me a sec. I'll go through our DM. I know Luke Edwards was one.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me one bit.
That one sort of annoys me because he looks at our story every now and then but doesn't respond to our messages. But not Riley Philthorpe. He said save it till after the draft.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a few, but like most of them are like Melbourne or WA kids.
Yeah. Have you had James Borlase on him?
No, I don't think so. No.
He's one. I'm just scrolling through me Snapchat here and just looking at footy players, but yeah, James Borlase, I reckon. He'd be a good one. He's always got something to say. He's got massive shoulders too, so if you ever have him on, ask him about that.
Luke Pedler's another one we got onto. I don't know if you know him too well.
Yep.
He left us on scene, which was very well.
Yeah, heartbreaking. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me either.
Yeah, Jonty Price, that's another one.
Who? Sorry,
Jonty Price.
Monty Price. Did he leave you on scene?
No, he responded to us, but he said like we'll get back to it later, and we just haven't gone back to it.
That means one thing and one thing only.
He won't do it.
Get back to you. That means you're not going to do it.
Yeah, I figured that with a lot of people.
That's a dog act by him. Well, he's from Wallaroo, so I grew up playing a little bit of footy against him and his older brother. So next time I see him, I'll get into him about that. But,
Yeah.
Will Pearce is one.
Yeah.
He plays at Woodville.
Yeah.
Similar to Caleb, sort of loves himself a little bit. I reckon, yeah, you're looking for someone, Will Pearce or James Paulace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give Will and James a text after this and see where they're at. Obviously, we probably won't be able to get them before the draft because I don't know if you still got Nathan O'Driscoll coming on tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, then before the draft, and then I've got Corey Durden on Thursday, so the model himself.
Yeah. Talk about like loves himself.
If you were able to play like any other sport other than footy, and it will be professionally, what would you choose?
Table tennis is
Really?
Yeah, is a sport that I would want to play professionally. Yeah, someone, you're not the first person to ask me that, and table tennis was the first thing that came to my head, and it's stuck now. So, and it's saying that everyone's either really good at it or you're really shit. There's no sort of in between. And you go to the footy club and there's a table tennis table there, and all the players are just like really good at it. And I don't know if they just sit there and play, outside of training, but pardon me, definitely something that I want to get real good at. It's a little hidden skill.
Yeah. What's your favourite thing to do, like outside of footy and sport?
Probably just hang out with mates. That's something I find myself doing quite regularly. Finish work and go to their house, and then don't end up leaving their house until probably about 10, 11 o'clock and go home and go to sleep. Other than that, you got a skateboard and just go cruising on them.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot. Not much to do. When I say there's not much to do in Adelaide, I don't really know much, so stay home.
Yeah. What has it been like having like the AFL level coaches at the Port Academy, like at such a young age, help you out?
It's been massive for my development. Obviously, the sooner you talk to some higher profile coaches and staff like that, you get some pretty important information that you can take away and use it, obviously. And to have that for the last couple of years is, it's been a massive help to get where I am now. And it's continued throughout this season, even though I couldn't be at the club, but I'm still talking to Paul Stewart, who's like the head of the academies, and played a few games with Port and then played at Woodville as well. So he's always giving me a bit of intel, which is good. Helps me work on my game. Yeah.
That was a question I was going to ask. Where do you work?
I used to do gardening and landscaping. So used to be mostly south of Adelaide, like south of the city, which is pretty good. All sort of a central area. Did that. Started back in January. And then finished last week. Just come home back to the farm with the family and chill out, watch the draft, and then I'll go back and get stuck into footy.
Yeah. If you get like in a very, very, very slim chance that Port don't pick you up, and you end up falling to a Melbourne club, or even with Port, if you come to Melbourne, would you be happy to link up with us in person?
Yeah, 100%.
You've only spoken to me, so
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, when I'm over in Melbourne next, we'll catch up. We'll go for a burger or a steak and few beers. No, 100%. Yeah, I'm keen.
yeah, easy. And obviously, would you come back on here, like just as like a Zoom call sort of thing?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I should have been onto it a lot earlier. But no, it was shit timing with work. So no, it's good. No, I would get the other boy. Or we could get we get all three boys. Get Zach and Caleb as well.
yeah, we'll have you all on at the same time. Is there anyone like any other prospect, obviously other than Taj, that you hope to see pull on a Port uniform and play alongside you?
I don't really know a lot of the draft players. Obviously, met a few in Melbourne last year, but yeah, I guess it's probably obviously it'd be cool to have one of your best mates pull on the jumper, but yeah, the likelihood of that is very slim this year. So I guess outside of SA, probably Jamara Ugle-Hagan. He's one that love to play with. He's going to be a jet. So Buddy Franklin, I reckon he'll be probably almost better too. So put on a bit of weight, and yeah, he's one that I'll keep an eye on. Might match up against him one time. Who knows?
Yep. Is there any one player like in the AFL at the moment do you just love to watch?
Yeah, I still keep a pretty keen eye on Dusty. Sort of he went up in popularity for a bit and then sort of died out after Cripper. But I can never get enough of Dusty. And even one player that I love watching, like its highlights and replays now, was Byron Pickett. Yeah, just him absolutely killing people. That's keeps me entertained. I think I've watched the same Facebook video about 10 times.
Yeah.
In the last month. So yeah, those two definitely.
Yeah. I'll ask you a bit of a varied response question here. Who do you believe is the greatest AFL football player of all time?
Shit. All time. There's a few. Obviously Dusty's had a pretty good career. He had two Brownlows, 2 or 3 Brownlows, a couple of Smiths. Yeah, I guess modern day era, Dusty's probably got the accolades to be granted the best player of at least this decade. But pre Dusty, I don't really know. I'm not a massive history person, so I haven't done a lot of. I don't watch a lot of footy before before my time. So
yeah,
I don't know. Tony Modric kicked a few goals. Tony Lockett, he was a freak. See one of his stat lines the other day, and it was like 40 odd disposals and 12 goals. And so if you can walk away with that, I'd say yeah, and do that consistently, I'd say you're a pretty good player. So yeah, Dusty modern day and Tony Lockett back in the day.
Yep. I'll ask you a fairly similar question. I know you said you don't watch a lot of basketball, but would your GOAT be LeBron or MJ?
I gotta say MJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to walk past 6 flags, 6 championships. So yeah, in my mind, MJ takes it from them. But if I'm going to 100% honest, I reckon Kobe was, wow, he was my favourite player. So yeah, those three are definitely the main GOAT conversation.
Yeah, of course. All right, I'll move back onto like your footy, your personal. But what do you believe is your biggest strength?
Probably just like my contested stuff. Just hard at the footy. Same, that never really shied away from. Always been a relatively big kid, so something that I enjoyed as a junior was always, tackling people and throwing my weight around. So definitely something that's still stuck. And yeah, love getting an opportunity to run at people and tackle them. And yeah, there's been a few times where I've been caught for dangerous tackles and just throwing people on the ground. But yeah, it's all been good fun.
Yeah. And what do you believe is your biggest weakness?
It's probably been my fitness. It's never been shit, but it's sort of always been around the mark, but never as good as what it could be. So something that probably lets me down a little bit, and probably stops me from moving into some other positions on the field. But hopefully on an AFL preseason, that'll get sorted out, and yeah, see what happens next year.
Yep. Is there any position that you look at and you think, God, I reckon I'd be right playing up there, or you'd want to play up there? Obviously, you're a defender, so you've got the rest of the ground to look at.
Yeah, I think same as any player, midfield's obviously always one spot where you want to get to. Yeah, always find a bit more of the ball there. So yeah, as a defender, midfield somewhere where I want to play a bit more of. Hopefully, well, next year, see how we go. But yeah, that's what we're aiming for.
Yep. Obviously, draft night is Wednesday, but are you looking forward to more than likely finally pulling on that Port Polo and saying you're a Port player sort of thing, rather than just saying you're a Port next generation?
Yeah, 100%. Grew up supporting Port and been my childhood dream to play for Port. So yeah, it'll be a little bit surreal. It's not like people asking, "Are you excited?" And it's sort of a mixed feeling. Yes, I'm excited, but because there's already been so much hype and the fact that it's almost given, it takes that little bit of excitement out of not knowing where you're going. But I guess on the other side, it's good to have that certainty that Port's, it's a 99% chance. So yeah, it'll be good to say that I'm finally there and can't wait to get to work and see how we go next year.
Yep. Now, I asked this to Taj about being a father-son, but you're obviously a completely different story, next generation. But do you feel there's any added pressure to being a next generation player?
Nah, not so much the next generation player. I think it's just there for clubs to develop players and give them a pathway that I guess mine's obviously different to Taj. But yeah, I don't think it puts any added pressure onto already being drafted. Yeah, definitely not as much as being taken in like first round, and I guess probably a bit more pressure on him. I've got no family footballing background, so yeah, I don't have to live up to any standards that have been set by anyone in the family, which is good. That's where he's got to compete with his old man. So yeah, not so much pressure for me, but I'd say Taj will feel a little bit.
Yeah. Now I'll ask you this question. I don't think I've asked since we had Josh Morris on, I think. And it's, would you rather lay a massive tackle to win the game or kick a massive goal?
Probably tackle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I guess, yeah, well, kicking goals. Yeah, I don't really know why, but yeah, I guess everyone sees the smother on who was it, Rewalt, that Heath Shaw played, which won them the game ultimately. And you, I think I've seen that more times than I've seen any goal after the siren to win the game. So probably something that everyone will remember a little bit more, unless it's a massive game like a grand final. Someone will remember a goal, but regular season game, I think, a tackle to save the game is what I would rather.
Yeah. Now I'll ask you a bit more of a broad question, but obviously the trades and that have done, not the draft. But who's your top 8 for next year and your eventual premiers?
Top 8. Shit.
You can put Port up the top.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll stick with my boys. Port, up there, definitely contenders for a flag next year. They'll be a bit dirty after this year, but I can't remember who was at the back end of the 8 last year, but similar to this year, I'd say probably Port, GWS, Geelong, Richmond, Brisbane. I'll chuck a Smoky in there, and we'll go. Shit, I don't know. I reckon. St Kilda will be in there. I reckon. Western Bulldogs are always around the mark. I reckon even Carlton might push the 8.
You haven't got my mob, and I'm a bit disappointed, but that's all right. Nice, but it's all right.
It's always, I guess you don't really know until it takes a while for the ladder to settle down, doesn't it?
Yeah. Given you just said you don't really listen to the media as such, it's all the same bullshit. But are you looking forward to all the media that you're gonna get straight after you get picked up?
No, not at all. I'm not shy of the media, but it's gonna be a long night. And a long couple of days that follow. So I guess take it as it comes, and it's a good opportunity to get my name out there a bit more, and obviously fans will want to see who I am and stuff like that. So I guess do what needs to be done, and then refocus my mind on getting into pre-season at the club, and I'm gonna have to. I reckon I have to turn my phone off draft night though, because I might have a few messages come up straight away. So we'll see how we go.
Yeah, we'll put everything up. Congratulating you and the other boys if you all get picked up.
Cheers, appreciate it.
Obviously, unfortunately, Zach doesn't look like he ever got his phone on.
So we'll have to have a catch up chat.
In the New Year's at some point or something like that.
Yeah.
For all of us on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too easy. Thanks for coming on, Lachie.
No. I fucked that up. All good, mate. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
It's the best of vibes. We gon' blow your mind. It's the best of vibes. Go to brand new heights.